when I worked in finance, I met this man. We fell in love. Obviously, he was my new hyperfixation.
So when you find out he's married...
It was so bad.
Because you're in love?
Yeah, I literally was in love. Like, I thought, wow, endgame, amazing. Then my manager mentioned it, and like, my heart fell out my ass. I was at work, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And I felt like I was actually having like a heart attack. Awful anxiety.
Man! If someone's listening to this right now, they know they're in a relationship that's probably not right for them.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to them?
I'm Chloe Burrows, and I am in great company.
Love Island Babby.
The infamous Chloe.
When did you find out you had ADHD?
After Love Island. On the show, you have like a welfare and a psychiatrist, and they kind of watch you. And she was like, and obviously, how's your ADHD? And I was like, pardon? And then they were like, yeah, you have big ADHD. I was like, all right, all makes sense. I've made up my mind. I'm going to bed now. I'm going to sleep. Like, shagging isn't on that menu, you know? And then if I'm trying to sleep and someone's trying to stick it on you, like, where's the romance? I'm just being rubbed by a boner. I'm not loving this.
When you go in as the bombshell, how nerve-wracking is it?
It was an out-of-body experience. It's like, hey boys, Chloe here. I don't know, I've never spoke that way since. I don't know. Yeah. Hey boys, Chloe here. I'm outside the villa. I was like, And I kept doing it. And they're like, can you make it sexier? I was like...
Guys, welcome back. I'm so excited for you to enjoy this episode with Chloe Burrows. This episode is full of things on anxiety, on ADHD, Love Island, heartbreak. There's so much in it. Now, before we start the show, if you could do us one quick favor, that is just subscribe to our channel. I cannot tell you how much it does for us. It does so many amazing things. So if you could click that button just here, that would be incredible. Also, let us know in the comments what you like about the show, what guests you think we should have on next. All of those things we'd love to see. Okay. Enjoy this episode of Great Company with Chloe Burrows. Biggest ick?
It's probably like turn off. What, of myself?
No, in life.
None. Biggest ick in life? Maybe bad teeth, or is it meant to be like a deeper question?
No, that's it. That's it.
What is it? Or like bad breath? Roadman. What?
Roadman.
And that's all I attracted after Love Island. I checked my DMs, so it's like, you'll be done. I thought... because I get a lot of people watch my stuff in jail. Yeah, they do. No, they do, and I've been told. And on Snapchat, it's like, oh, sweet one, can I take you out? Not today. I don't like that, especially if you're 30 and you speak like a roadman.
When did you find out you had ADHD?
After Love Island. I didn't know before. And
Talk me through it.
So on the show, you have like a welfare and a psychiatrist, and they kind of watch you, and then they follow you after the show. And she said to me straight after, like our first catch up after a week, and she was like, and obviously, how's your ADHD? And I was like, pardon? She's like, you've got ADHD. I was like, no, that's new. So I thought, okay. So I asked my mum and my dad. My brothers have got it. So then I thought, right, I'm just going to go to a doctor. So I went to one, and he was like, yeah, for sure. But I wasn't quite convinced because it was like a half an hour session, and I'd spent a bit of money. I thought, okay, I'm going to get a second opinion. Spent like 3 hours with someone, and then they were like, yeah, you have big ADHD. I was like, all right, all makes sense.
I did the same thing. So I thought I had it as a kid. I was kind of diagnosed, but someone just told me you got ADHD, right? So I didn't really think about it. Then recently I went to go and get a test, and probably the same as you're a bit like, everyone has ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, well, how does that change my life?
Yeah.
But then you get properly diagnosed after like a 3-hour thing.
Yeah.
Going back in history, looking at reports or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and they tell you, but for me, it wasn't like a light bulb moment. It didn't really change much for me. Was it for you?
Yes and no. Now I've got an excuse, I think, for a lot of things. So actually, I was really pleased with it. But a lot of things like growing up made sense, and now I'll get like a hyperfixation. Obviously, I know the terminology now, and that makes a lot of sense. Like I had a drum kit growing up, and then I had a PlayStation, and I was like, it's just all of this stuff made a lot of sense. And then at uni, I remember when I was like doing my degree, and I'd be in the library and everyone would be sweating it, and I would have like headphones on with music, friends playing on a laptop and like doing mind maps, because I was really trying to stimulate myself to get the information, and everyone said it was really odd, and I found it odd that other people didn't need to like watch, listen, entertain yourself to do stuff. But no, I think it just gave me an excuse and an answer.
Do you know, that's so interesting. I had the same experience with that, right? Which is where I couldn't understand at school or at university why people could sit and and focus
Yeah.
for that long. I went to Leeds University.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a library card until my last term of my last year.
That's fair enough.
Because I just couldn't concentrate in any way whatsoever.
No.
That's what I found really hard with. And so then learning that, it was a bit like, okay, now I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But then the hyperfixation, that's because I used to hyperfixate on things like breathing. And
oh, tell me more. I haven't had that one yet. I'm sure it's coming.
Now I've said it, get ready.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think because of my ADHD, what I didn't realize is that, like you had, I sort of hyper focused on lots of different things. And then when you're in a negative spin, you focus on the negative.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have you had that?
Yeah, but that's now part of my task of the day. Get up, think about all the bad things, and then that's my mood for the day. And then sometimes I forget to do that, and then it's fine. But yeah, I think say mean comments, I'll get up and I'll see that, and all day I'll think, oh my God, I'm the worst person in the world. Everyone hates me. And it's really bad. But it's I'm so used to it now. I don't think it impacts me. Do you know what I mean? Because even when I'd go to uni, I'd go out with all my friends, and maybe I would. I mean, drunk clothes is a different subject, but maybe I would say something bad. Like there's hangxiety and then there's hyperfixating on that situation. I'm like, I actually can't see anyone.
Well, explain that to me. What do you mean?
So everyone gets hangxiety and they're like, oh, I said something bad. But then I will then replay that conversation all day. And then for days, I'll think about it until I do something bad again. So I actually went out on Saturday with my friends. I know I made a bit of a comment. I won't repeat it, but then
what did you say? Come on, just give it to me. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
I'm going to share everything with you. You can share everything with me.
Fine,
this is a deal.
Fine. My friend got a bit too drunk, and it's either me or him. And I just said, "Oh, I'm just so bored of it's always you." And then he was like, "It's always you." And I just thought, "Well, thank God it's not me today." It's not even that bad, but it's just either me or him that's always the most smashed. Yeah. I was like, "I'm so bored of it. So bored of you doing that." And he was like, "I'm bored of you." And then I just thought about, I was non-verbal yesterday because I felt so bad. And I texted him this morning "Oh, I'm really sorry. I'll never get bored of it," which is a lie. I probably will, but I just had to repair the situation. And he said, "Oh, it's so fine. It's so fine." But I had to call my other friend to talk about it on the way here because I was like, God, it's really bad.
Do you think because of your personality, because of the way you are, because you're upbeat and quite energetic, that some people get the wrong idea that actually you can be pretty sensitive and the things that you say, you actually do think about, and people don't realize you're like that? Yeah,
for sure. But I think people obviously see all the stuff of me online, and obviously when I'm at work or there's a camera on, I'm switched on, so they get that version of me. But then when I'm at home, I'm non-verbal, I'm not chatty, I obviously live with Millie. I spend more time in my room not speaking, because I think you do give so much of yourself on camera.
Yeah.
So then that's when I'll sit and think, and I think people would be surprised to know that it is sensitive, but I'm not getting myself down about it. I'll feel bad, but it won't impact. It's not going to change the route of my day. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to just keep going.
Are you introverted, extroverted?
A bit of both. I think fake it till you make it. So in a group of people, I know that they expect me to be loud. So I'll be loud and be that person. But before I go, say if I'm meeting someone new, I'll practice the interaction in my head, and I'm like, what am I going to say? What should I even do it when Millie comes home, which is I've lived with her
Who's
for years.
your roommate?
Yeah. So I'll think oh, I haven't seen her in a few days. What do I need to say? I'm like, oh, hi, you right? And then I'll kind of think of all the things I need to tell her have happened. Not that I haven't texted her all day, but I'm like, oh my God, have you seen this on TikTok? And I'll know what I'm going to say.
Wait, hold on, let's get it. But that's the funny thing about this, right, which I learned from podcasting, you've done it from podcasting, was that everyone is so different, but also at the same time, we all have the same things. And we think the way that we interact or do things is so unique. But actually, when you talk about it, you go, God, I have that. I have that. I have that.
Yeah.
So when you were going to meet me today, have you played that out in your head?
Yeah. But I've been a fan of you for ages, so it's very easy to have things in your back pocket. But say if I was meeting someone that I didn't really know and had nothing to say, you've got I always have icebreakers in my back pocket. So I'm oh, thank God for the weather at the moment. So we can just talk about the weather.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, wait. So throw me some of your icebreakers that you're good at. So what do you go? So if you're going to meet someone, you're going into a big meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's about one of your documentaries you're going to do, and you want to nail it and you want to get it. What do you go into the meeting with? What do you say?
Oh, the classic is because obviously London's awful for traffic. Awful, and they'll be like, oh, where did you go? I'll ask them, oh, where did you travel from? And then they'll say, and I always oh my God, I love it around there. They have the best cafes. I don't know. I've barely been anywhere in London. And I'm exposing myself. But then they feel comfortable, and then they start talking about it, and then it takes pressure off me because now they're talking about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So what do you think? What do you think your superpower is if you had a superpower? Because I think as humans we all have superpowers.
I think my dad actually said this the other day. He was like, "You're really good at disarming people," because I think I shock them with like how open and honest I am, so they then feel quite comfortable around me. Because I'll tell you something awful and embarrassing, like no shame. So then they're like, "Oh well, if she doesn't care about that, then why do I care?" Which I find in my pod. Like I'll give one embarrassing story, and it's like a trade-off, isn't it? I think I'm quite good at that, like breaking the ice quite quickly.
Where do you think you learned that? Because that's exactly what I'm quite good at doing.
Yeah.
And as a host or as a person, that means you can disarm the room.
Yeah.
So straight away that they feel comfortable, and when someone feels comfortable, that's when they start telling you stories or feel like they're
Yes.
friendly with you. Where did you learn that? Do you think?
Maybe when I was cold calling, because I was bad. I used to cold call for a bit before I went on Love Island in like sales. And imagine, I would call older men who had like big companies. Imagine them answering the phone to me like they're not serious. And then I would just be like, I'd kind of Google where they were from and then just start talking to them about that. Or, I'd Google image where their building was, whatever. And it was about that. So now I think maybe that's a skill. I don't know, but I've always been an attention seeker. So maybe I realize when the attention's on me, then people want to get involved. Maybe it's that. I don't know where I got it from.
Okay, so you go on Love Island.
I did.
Okay, I need every detail of how, how does that happen? What happens? Do they send you a message? Do you do an interview? What goes down when that happens?
Okay, so I had a friend of a friend who was an exec on a few shows, and they were trying to get me to go on Celebs Go Dating as a datee for Wayne Lineker and Tom Zanetti. But I had,
That's a big combo. That's a big...
and I almost did it. Joking, I didn't.
A little bit, a little bit.
I was debating for a bit, but no. So she was trying to get me, and I had this call, but I had a job like in finance. So after cold calling, got moved to, because I got my degree in marketing, I was like head of the digital marketing bit for this, like finance company. I thought this is not worth the risk because I would be so sacked. Like, there's no way you can go to like financial services after being on TV snogging Wayne Lineker. That doesn't happen. So I thought, no, this isn't worth the risk. And then they called again for James Lockie, and I thought, no, don't want to do that either. Like, no shame to him, but I thought if I'm getting airtime, it's got to get me a new job. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting so sacked. So I thought, no, not that one. And then they called me.
Entrepreneurial of you to think, like, if this is a stepping stone, it has to offer me something. The risk versus reward has to be good.
Well, actually, if you want the truth, I was interviewing for other jobs, but I could not get a job. And I thought, well, if I'm sacked, I'm actually fucked because I haven't got a job and I've got one. Imagine if I'm unemployed and not being able to interview. Like, I can't.
You can't do that. Okay.
So then there was this other show. It went on ITV2. I can't remember what it's called, but it was basically one single girl and 12 boys, and 6 of them were taken, 6 of them were single, and she had to like date them all. And at the end, she would pick one, and if he was single, they'd split the money. But if he was taken, him and his girlfriend would take the money. Anyways, that was the premise of the show. So I was thinking that, I thought, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? And so that was like a few Zoom calls because I think it was COVID. And then at the end, I just don't know if I should. And then the girl, I forgot her name, Georgia.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, I actually know exactly what show you should be on. She was like, right, I'm going to pass your number along, whatever. And then the next day I was working from home and I just got a call and it was like, is that Chloe? I was like, yeah. They were like, do you want to go for a long hot summer? I was like, fucking yes. I was like, is Love Island? They were like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I do. What do you want? So they'd obviously had my details and producers. And then I think I jumped on a Zoom the next day. And they just asked me a bit about myself, dating history. And I was just saying whatever I thought would get me on that show. And then they called me down to London. They said, yeah, you're going to be the first bombshell. And that was kind of signed, sealed, delivered in a month. And I knew when I was flying out. Because I said some horrific stuff, probably.
But I think what you're entrepreneurial. Like, yeah, 100%. Because I can see it in the way that you sort of view things, which is a really good way. You're not sort of part of the system. You're always looking at ways that how can something offer me, and if I need to get it, how am I going to find? If I want to get something, I'm going to find a way of getting it.
Yeah.
Right. That's always the really good way of doing things. I always think. What horrific stuff did you say in the interview?
Oh, I'm sure you might have seen a clip if you use TikTok or social media. I basically said that I'm partial to a married man and they loved it. The story of that, I have addressed it a few times. Basically, when I worked in finance, I met this man. We fell in love. Obviously, he was my new hyperfixation. And then I found out he had a wife and kids and I dumped him. But obviously I oversold it because the producer's like, oh, do you like married men? And I was like, I fucking love married men because I was getting on that show regardless, you know. And they ask you questions like, what if a girl tried to move to your man? I'm like, well, it's not Friend Island. Like, no girl can ever take a man from me. I didn't mean it, but I knew what they wanted me to say. Like, I'm not dumb. So I just gave them what they wanted.
So there's a few things. Firstly, not everyone knows that.
Oh, come on, it's Love Island. But if
No,
someone takes
Chloe.
your man, you're not going to be like, have a nice chat.
No,
Just fight for him.
But Chloe, but I think no one. That's confidence. Like whether you're meaning to be confident or it's just like no. If I'm being so honest here, like if someone got me an interview and said that, I would be a bit like, oh, I don't know, I'd probably chat about it and like see if like we could like work out some sort of deal. Like that's what I would have done. Like having not had the TV experience, like having had the TV experience now, I know what they want. But being naive to the situation which you were, how do you knowing what they want? That's unique, man. I know it is 100% unique.
Perhaps. But then I spoke to Millie. Millie said the same thing. I think everyone who goes on there is a bit bullshit. Well, on our season, it was like quite all of us like, you can't talk to my man, you know.
The married man.
Yeah. What a guy.
When you find out they have a family.
I was heartbroken.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah. Just another awful person. No, but
how did they hide that from you? Where, I mean, sorry to be graphic, but where were you guys like sleeping together? Like, would you wear like
in a hotel?
And that was not a flag.
Babe, if there's one thing you've learned, I don't see red flags. Like, I just want that man. So yeah.
No, you were literally like, I guess this guy lives in a hotel. Like, he obviously just lives in a hotel.
I thought he was like flexing his cash, and I thought, great, I love hotels.
Wait, were you not ever like?
I don't have common sense when it comes to boys. Like, I'm aware. Yeah.
But after like the fifth time in the hotel, you're like, should we not go like back to like cook food or something? Like, why are we doing that?
I was loving bed and breakfast, but he would leave.
Okay, here we go.
He would leave, and he had quite a good job, so he would leave, and I would think, oh, okay, like he has to. Looking back now, I am an idiot. You know, I'm a fool.
Yeah, but whatever, you're in love.
But I thought he was amazing. Like, I remember the first time I met him, and I went back to work, and I said to my friends, I was like, I believe in love at first sight. I've actually just fallen in love. Like, I can't believe he's not tried to call me yet. And then he did the next day. But I was so shocked. I thought, oh my God, I love him. So I just went with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So to go a bit, so when you find out he's married.
It was so bad. Because
you're in love?
Yeah, I literally was in love. Like, I thought, wow, Endgame, amazing. Then my manager mentioned it. And then my heart fell out my ass. I was at work. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And then I kind of spoke with him, and he was like, yeah. I thought, right, well, we're done then. Obviously. I think he thought I knew. And I obviously was so like dumb.
No, because you were taken aback, and it's just like, man.
So then that was kind of that.
And you look in that situation, that's when anger steps in. And you kind of think, well, I'm heartbroken, I'm hurt. I can either just leave this or I can be angry. What did you do? Did you just leave it?
I just left it. It's not worth the act. And also,
well done.
My manager was the one to deliver the bad news to me. Like, I'm at work. I have to work. I actually can't make this a big deal. So, yeah, I just left it.
Do you know if he saw you on Love Island?
Absolutely no clue. I haven't got a clue. We haven't spoke. So this was when I was like 21, maybe 22.
Okay, so you go on Love Island.
Yeah.
You're the bombshell. When you go in as the bombshell, how nerve-wracking is it?
It was an out-of-body experience. I don't know how I did that. They kind of said, you pull up, and they always say to you as well, like the pressure's on. They say, you are not in that villa until you are in that villa. Like, even if you're waiting outside, they might turn around and say, actually, no. You know, and you don't want to do anything wrong. Because I thought, I'm going in that fucking villa. They put me in a port cabin.
In a porter cabin?
Like, they have loads. Well, they did. I don't know if it's changed, but they had like porter cabins outside the villa. I don't know what for. They were like all the way up the road. And I was held in there, and I had my chaperone, and they didn't really tell me what was going on. I knew I was going to be a bombshell, but it was day one. So they were all doing the coupling. So I must have got there like 3 p.m. And I was just sat. Oh, I got my hair and makeup done. And I thought, yes, please. I shouldn't have done that. I looked unwell. But got my hair and makeup done, and then they kind of do the outfit options. And then they came around and said, okay, right, so what you're going to do is you're going to send a voice note saying you're outside the villa and give the boys an option to come and meet you. I thought, what? You've set me up here. Just let me walk in and say hello and pull someone for chat. So I was like, oh, okay. Obviously, I didn't say anything. I was like, great, can't wait. That's exactly what I wanted to do today. And then they came around and were making me do this voice note, and I was so nervous. And I had to be like, hey, boys, I'm outside. This voice came out of me. It was insane. It's like, hey, boys, Chloe here. I don't know. I've never spoke that way since. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, boys, Chloe here. I'm outside the villa. I was like, And I kept doing it. And they were like, can you make it sexier? I was like, no. So I did that. And then they just led me up. They didn't tell me who was coming, how many. Just kind of throw you in.
What is the experience like being in there? Like for someone who knows it, but also someone who doesn't. It's pretty real. Like it's obviously structured in a way. Like I know TV, there's producers, there's things this, but it's pretty organic, pretty real. It's a Big Brother house, but sexy, fun, and with a swimming pool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was just surreal. It's much smaller in real life. I remember walking and thinking, oh my gosh. But I think I don't really remember like how I felt during the first week, but it's intense and it's like go, go, go. And then I think I kind of clocked on earlier because the producers will pull you in the morning and at night, and they kind of suss where your head's at for the day and what you want to do. And then perhaps they'll say, oh, why don't you go and have this chat? It's not you need to say this. Do you know what I mean? And they'll kind of nudge you along. But it was very go, go, go. I remember because I didn't really, like I got along with the girls, but we weren't like besties because obviously I was the first bombshell. They'd already like made their group on the first day. So they did that. And then I didn't really have, I was probably closest to like Kaz and Lib when I first went in there. But then there was a whole situation with Toby, kind of put the cat among pigeons. And then Millie and Lucinda came in, and that kind of changed my whole experience because we just got along like from the second we met. And then it was just became a lot more like fun and less serious. Because when you're in there, like you're fighting for your life a little
You are,
bit,
right?
you
That's
know?
exactly what it is.
Yeah, and it's intense, and there is a pressure, to go and speak to that boy. And I've met these boys for 2 days. I ain't got a fucking clue who they are. Oh, and now I'm sharing a bed. Like it's very, you've got to take it in your stride and just go, go, go. Yeah.
And you've also you also think in your head, you're like, I've made the decision to do this.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in this situation where I'm now going to be on Love Island.
Yeah.
That means that my life back home is going to change in lots of different ways, especially from going into like getting a job and things like that, because people, rightly or wrongly, are probably going to view you in a different light.
Yeah, for sure.
And so then you're thinking, well, I have to make this work.
Yeah, and I thought, I've got to be in here more than 4 weeks. Like, I actually knew in my head to make it worth it. I haven't got a job when I go home. Like, I've actually got to be in here. So,
wow, that's quite like a defining like thing to have. Like, yeah, because I remember when I did Made in Chelsea, I remember that's what my thought process was. It was like, okay, I've decided to go down this show doing a reality show.
Yeah.
That means this life of going down wealth management or being a broker
or
whatever I was wanting, that's now gone.
Yeah.
So I've got to make this work.
Yeah.
And that was very anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety because of that. Because I was like, I now have no plan B. And especially at that age when it's all a lot in the air, it's quite a lot,
and
isn't
you're
it?
right at the birth of like people being famous, of like
on social,
reality
reality TV.
Media. Like that's even more pressure. I feel like people from my season onwards, with Love Island been on a minute, there was kind of a blueprint as such.
Hooking up with people on camera, weird?
Didn't care.
Man.
I think no, it was...
Have you ever watched I've watched myself...
No, I can't.
Man, I've watched myself kiss. I look like a dementor. I'm like trying to suck out their soul. I'm like, what am I doing?
I can't do that. I physically will not ever be doing that. I don't need that embarrassment. I can live happily. I think because you do it a lot. You're just non-stop snogging in there. Games, perhaps, so you can't really think it's a big deal. Everyone else is doing it. And there's, 20 of you or whatever in there, so you just have to kind of get over it. But I do remember like I snogged Hugo. I thought that was a weird kiss. And then you just have to get over it because something else is happening. You don't have a lot of time for like...
What do you mean it was a weird kiss?
Because we were in a friendship couple and it was like we were in a challenge and then, we were half naked, covered in pain, and then like all of a sudden we're snogging and I was like, oh, okay. let's go. Like, it was just very strange. A lot of what we did was strange. There was one where I dressed up as like a cat and had like milk poured over me, and then I was snogging again. Like, what the fuck? It was a lot.
What were you like as a kid? Where did you grow up?
I'm from Bicester, so grew up there, went to like state school. What was I like as a kid? I played sports. That was probably my hyperfixation back there. But I loved school. I was good in school until I was maybe, when I was sixth form, was that 17?
Yeah.
And then I discovered boys in the park fields with little tinnies of white lightning or whatever. So I started doing that for a bit. And then, yeah, but I think in school, I loved learning. I loved being like around like everyone. I had an all right group of mates, I suppose. It wasn't like, nothing to report home about. But if anyone's been to Bicester, you'd know there's not really a lot to do. So
Parents still together?
no, they broke up when I was 15.
Yeah. That's always
It's always the kicker. It's always the kicker. But I think I'm the oldest of four. So I think I kind of saw it coming anyways. I wasn't surprised. And then it was like, oh, there's 3 other kids here who are younger than me. So come on, let's get it together.
Wow.
Yeah.
But can I dig?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I can feel there's maybe there's something right. My parents got divorced when I was 8.
Right.
And I remember it. Like for some reason it was like such a big moment like for me, and I remember the moment when they came and they told me, and it was and it's very weird as a child because you think your parents are meant to be together forever, and when that doesn't happen, it kind of breaks every sort of glass that you think exists,
and then you don't know what happens next, and then you're like a little bit lost, and you're like, okay, well, so they're not here, they're not in the same house, so where do I go? And then there's obviously who's your favorite. I mean, that happened for me. It was like, oh, am I speaking to my mum more? Am I speaking to my dad more? I didn't want anyone to feel left out. Like, It was a whole thing. But yeah.
That is a lot.
It was. But then also where I'm from, in Bicester, like, it was like less common if your parents were together. Like, everyone, something in the water in Bicester, like most kids in my year, parents have been through divorce. So it wasn't like shocking. And I think, my parents weren't the best of friends. So it wasn't a shock, but then it was just, okay, well, where do I go now? Like, oh, am I living here? Am I living with them? Like, what's the right thing to do? And obviously you don't know. And then they're like in the midst of their kind of massive life-changing thing. You don't really get all the information, but I suppose you wouldn't as a kid.
Yeah, you don't. But then you're kind of left in the dark. And that's the thing when people go through breakups is because they're dealing with their own situation, they're sort of forgetting about what's happening with the kids and because the kids are going to school, you're playing sport, whatever it is. You forget, but actually it's pretty hard that whole time.
It's not nice, is it? Your whole life changes. You don't know what's going to happen next. Obviously, I had younger brothers and sisters. Like, my youngest brother, he's 10 years younger than me. Like, he was a kid. Wow. So it was just like, oh God, where are we going? Like, we didn't know where we were going to live. Like, I remember that being like such a big thing. But then I suppose, and then everyone else in the family gets involved, and it's like you're kind of being dragged everywhere. It was like really chaotic. But I actually, after Love Island, when I went to go see the ADHD man, he was asking me about when I was like 17 to 19. I can't remember it. And I wonder if that's a knock on. Well, that's what he decided. He was like, oh, after your parents' divorce and the dust settled, like, I actually really can't remember what happened in those years. I know I had some sort of boyfriend and like knew where I lived, but then I was thinking, day to day, like, nothing significant sticks out. And he was like, well, surely there's some things, like everyone's got things every year that stick out. I was like, honestly, no. And I called my friends like from school, and they're like, oh, do you remember this? Do you remember this? I was like, fuck yeah, I haven't thought about that obviously since I was like 16, 17. Like, because you just block it out. So I think that's what happened. Like, I don't remember the intricacies of like after the divorce or like when I was kind of in sixth form. And then I remember going to uni.
So all of that period is kind of,
don't know. And I know it was messy, and I know like it was very discombobulated with like my parents, but I've obviously just decided, nope, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had therapy, and when I was in the therapy, the therapist started asking me, saying, what happened when my parents got divorced? What happened? I went, oh yeah, well, I then was sent away to a boarding school.
Right.
And they said, well, what happened at boarding school? And I couldn't remember.
I got a clue.
Yeah, I could remember being in, like being in the dormitory, but I don't really remember. I remember playing a bit of sport, but I couldn't remember anything at all, and which was quite strange. And so then the therapist said, well, you should probably bring in one of your parents to talk about it. And so I brought my mum in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was really interesting. And we sat with each other, and she said, do you remember this? Do you remember this holiday? Do you remember? And I went, oh yeah, I do remember that, but I don't really remember what happened.
Yeah.
But then I think for me, what happened is that because I had locked it in so much and I had just protected myself, it kind of came out many years later in a probably negative way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit. I dealt with anxiety and just drank a lot through it.
Oh, yeah, that's me. That's actually me. Yeah. I feel like I've been doing that for years. Yeah, but it's fun, like Dutch courage. You can only do so much, and I'm starting to realise it. But yeah, no, I definitely do that. But
So
I've dabbled in therapy,
okay.
and I always find I don't know why I've got this opinion. They are too nice. I could tell
What do you
them
mean?
I beat up an old lady on Saturday, and she'd be like, "There was a reason you did that. Have compassion for yourself." And I'm like, "No, I know it's bad. Why have I done this bad thing?" And they just kept doing it. I thought, I'm telling you really bad things, and like, I'm ashamed. I know I'm ashamed, but like, why am I doing this? And then she'd be like, "You're thinking too much on it." I thought, I'm not. I'm not thinking enough.
I'm actually trying to tell you that I've done something bad here.
Yeah. So no, I'm having a break at the minute.
Wait.
Maybe I'll go back.
Wait, what kind of bad things do you think you've done that you were like? What things do you regret if you look back on it? Because I can tell you some things I've done.
Yeah, I think, especially when I came out of Love Island, I spiraled. I loved partying, and I'd go out until whatever time, and then I wouldn't show up the next day. Or the way that I kind of deal with my brothers and sisters say I really lack empathy, which really surprises me because none of my friends or anyone would say that. And I think after Love Island, there was kind of a whole thing going on with my family, which I won't delve too much into, but I was just like, just get over it. Just get over it. Like, why are you so bothered? Now I look back and I'm like, when I was speaking to the therapist, I was like, why do I not have time for people's problems? Like, why do I not want to take that on? And she was like, just have compassion. I thought, no, that's not helping me either.
That's not helping me right now.
No. Maybe I'll get it from her. Get over it.
So great. So you go to university. Where do you go to university?
Liverpool.
Good fun?
The most fun ever in the whole world. That place should be studied. It doesn't sleep. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can go out all day, every day if you want. And I did. But I've not been back there since. Left my peace with that place. Love you, Liverpool, but not that much. Yeah, it was so much fun. I loved it.
Did you go into halls or anything like that? Or did you go into...
I did. I went to uni and I think I wasn't meant to... I did much better than anyone thought I would do in my A-levels. I just randomly pulled it out of the bag. So I was going to go to Trent or Bournemouth to do marketing.
Yeah.
Then I got my result. They weren't amazing, but they were, way more than I needed to go to the other university. So I went through adjustment, not clearing. I went up.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I did a little Google. Where's best marketing UK? And it was like Newcastle, Liverpool. So I don't know. I just said, Liverpool is. Called them up and they were like, yeah, we'll see you in a year. I thought, great, because I was taking gap year anyways. Because I had to earn some money. I didn't go traveling or find myself. But yeah, then I went there. I didn't even visit. I just looked, what's the nicest halls? And it was like Crown Place. I thought, great, I'll stay there. So I went there, and obviously I hadn't come from like a minted background or anything. I turned up and it was all like, everyone's got loads of money, everyone, like very unrelatable, very posh, or like not from England. I thought, what am I doing here? It was very strange, yeah.
Really?
But my friend who I knew from before going to uni, we worked together and she was at the other hall, so I just met her and we made loads of friends that way.
So you're at Liverpool, you meet all the posh people.
Yes. Hells yeah.
What did you think of posh people?
It was a culture shock, for someone to be like, where do you summer? And I was like, England, sometimes Portugal, up to you. Do you know what I mean? I didn't come from like, my background isn't, I would say we were all right, like well off. My dad did well, but then when my mum split, like that was a whole tumultuous thing. So it's not like I didn't go without holidays and, whatever. But then meeting like rich people, it just blows your mind. And they just had like 4 phones, new Apple Macs, like cool. Some of them had Louis Vuitton bags for their laptops. And I was like, this is insane. This is insane. So I bought a fake and I wore it every day. Yeah. So I did that. No, it was a lot.
And it's a bit of a culture shock, isn't it? Because shock, I came from...
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You did mention boarding
Spoiler
school.
Spoiler alert. Just to let you know.
Loads of my best friends went to boarding school. Like, I think I can get in with them. But when I first met them, it was just like the abundance of things. We go to Tesco's and they were like actually paying for £7 chicken breast fillets. And I thought, I'm getting 16p into me. Come on.
What does it make you feel? Because I'm going to tell you my experience, right? So when I first got to Leeds, I remember I did drama at Leeds, and I got into my first whatever it was, and we were talking, and one of the girls came up and said, "You're Posh," and I went, "Okay," and I'm like 19, I didn't even really like know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And she said, "I want to ask you a question. You went to a boarding school, right?" And I went, "Yeah." And she went, "I went to a state school, but we're both at the same place.
Yeah.
So why do your parents pay for your school?" And I went,
Oh,
"Well, I don't really know." But what I felt from my position was that I felt almost at the beginning that I was sort of targeted because for being posh.
Really?
But what's interesting is that obviously from the flip side of it, there's an insecurity as well because someone isn't considered posh. And so both sides are feeling insecure, but no one's really talking about it. And that's kind of feels like maybe the experience that you had as well. Does that make sense or no?
No, it completely does make sense. But I also think when I was at uni, more people were posh than they weren't. Like maybe that was just the circles I was in, but more people were like quite well off, like that I'd met. So it wasn't, I thought maybe it was the other way. But also like, what am I going to do? You speak better than me. Great. I can mimic you and I can also speak really great. Like, do you know what I mean? I was consumed by I loved like all the tales that they had and I thought it was amazing. I thought, I want to ski every year and I want to go on Thailand for Christmas. Like, I wasn't jealous, I thought, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
So but now all my best friends are posh.
Wait, but do you have a boyfriend at uni?
I was in a 5-year situationship from hell. Hell itself gave me that. I must have done something awful in the past. But so we met when I was in like the first week of uni, and then that went on through uni and afterwards. But it was bad. But I think when you're in the you just don't know why you do that. Like I was obsessed with this boy. I thought he was amazing, and he would just go and cheat on me. We weren't together, and he bloody reminded me, and I just forgave him and forgave him and forgave him. Like all of my friends said it was awful, but I was just in the thick of it. But for 5 years, I did that, which was intense. I know hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, but you shouldn't also like brush over it like that. So many people have that. Yeah. When you fall deeply in love with someone.
Yeah.
And they are just everything.
And they know that they can do whatever.
Control.
So they do. They do just treat you awfully. But I think not that it had to happen. I'm kind of glad it did because after that, like I don't take shit from anyone. Like I'll never ever. And now when I see other people putting up with it, I don't understand. Like, come on, let's just leave. But everyone was thinking that when I was with him. But no, it was bad. And I would like so he lived in London at the time, obviously I was at uni in Liverpool. Every like Friday I would drive down to London to see him and then come back on Sunday. Like that's a fucking long trip. Man. Do you know what I mean? But I don't actually know why I liked him so much.
Oh man, I can like feel like, because I had my own like heartbreak experience when I was really young, but it wasn't like that. There was no cheating, but the heartbreak is just the worst feeling in the world.
Character defining, like,
and also if you have ADHD, the hyperfocus.
Oh yeah, it's limerence, isn't it? So I just I was stuck, to be honest, and then it broke down in lockdown, and something just snapped in my head, and I was like, oh my god, I hate you, go away, and just never spoke to him again.
How funny is that? It's like a light switch, isn't it?
No, that's literally what happened. Like, I couldn't explain it because we'd argued 10 billion times. We blocked each other. Well, I never blocked him because I felt like I couldn't, but he blocked me 10 million times. Like, and then I just woke up and I thought, I hate you. Get out. And that was done.
It sounds quite controlling from him.
It was VV bad. I'd actually say he was a narcissist, like an actual narcissist. It was insane.
There's a really interesting guy called John Ronson who wrote a book called The Psychopath Guide or something like that. And we'll find out the name. It was called Guide to a Psychopath or something. I actually interviewed him. And
wow.
Yeah, and I interviewed him with my friend Spencer Matthews, who after that has diagnosed himself as a psychopath, slight narcissist, right?
Really?
Yeah, and I asked John Ronson, I said, if Spencer is a narcissist, what would be your advice? And he said, don't be friends with them. On the podcast. It's called the Psychopath Test.
Is it out? I'm so good.
You should
watch that for sure.
Yeah, it's a great thing, and you should read the book because lots of people are in relationships with perhaps narcissists, and you don't realize that you're in the relationship until afterwards when you look back and you're like, what was I doing? Because it's so manipulating, it's so consuming, it's so controlling that you almost feel like you're the one doing something wrong.
Oh my god, I was apologizing all the time, and it It's so bad. But if he was in a bad mood and wouldn't speak to me, I could not function. Like, I remember one time, I think I'd gone on a night out and not answered my phone. And he then, where was I? I think I was living in London at the time. Either way, he'd gone for me and he was like, wow, you're blocked, you slag, da da da. And I felt like I was actually having like a heart attack. And I drove to my mum's and I was just on the floor in pieces. She couldn't pick me up. My brother had this huge football tournament. She took me in the car and I was screaming in the car crying, and then he was having a football tournament and I was crying floods of tears on the floor because he wouldn't speak to me. So I remember I took my mum's phone and I was like 141ing, like, please speak to me. Like, how has that actually ever happened? Like, why did I care? It should be studied. But yeah, like, it was so bad. And that was just every weekend. That was stuff
Just
like that
the
would
whole
happen.
time.
Oh god, it's awful. And then I remember I went on his laptop. I spoke about this in my pod, but I went on his laptop and I saw an actual gallery of like videos, pictures of him just like with other girls. So I was like, oh my god, this is awful. So I called him, like, come back from gym, and then I cried and I drove home. And then he didn't try me talking like he had the audacity. The man was insane. He didn't even try and call me or whatever. So I called him and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry for leaving. Like, I look back on it now, I just think, what the fuck, Chloe? Like,
Oh, Chloe.
so bad.
By the way, you shouldn't feel ashamed by any of that. I know, because I think there's a tendency. I think there's a tendency, especially because you're obviously, you're a strong woman, right? You're opinionated, you're strong, you don't take any shit now. And so looking back at that version of yourself, you obviously, it's very easy for someone to be pissed off with themselves for allowing someone to do that to them.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should ever feel that, and not that you do, but I think there are a lot of people probably listening now who are going through something similar, who have been through something similar, who probably are pissed off with themselves or ashamed or whatever it is, and you never should be, because it's just, life is shit sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes life is really shit. It's just 5 years was such a long time. I always wondered, like, why on earth did that happen? But it did. And thank God he's gone now.
When you leave the show, how does your life change?
Like, it was insane. I think we were quite lucky though. So it was not COVID's lucky, but we left him. We had to isolate or quarantine because we'd flown from a different country and we all had to get tested. So we had like 5 days at home with our family to just settle in and just do nothing because you weren't allowed to leave the house. So I just went home, chilled, kind of took it all in, was on social media. But
such a high.
It's insane. Like, we were in the airport and people were like taking pictures. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But we didn't do the rounds of like interviews and stuff because we couldn't leave our house. And then I think like maybe a week later, it was like talk of management. I think it's a bit different now because I think you leave and they hold you in London and then you're doing all radio and G&B and all that. We didn't do any of that because obviously we couldn't leave the house. But that was a mental 5 days. And then I remember we went out in public and it was just insane. Like, people asking for your pictures, people secretly filming. I went to Tesco's, no makeup on, and this girl was like, oh my God, and I had the camera in my face. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Exciting, thrilling, but also,
I loved it.
Good on you, man, for saying that. Do you know what? Someone always said to me, they were like, doing Made in Chelsea. I remember we were going around a circle and we were asked, like, early days, why have you done Made in Chelsea? And everyone was giving an answer like, oh, I wanted to do it because of like, I thought it was a great social experiment to find out what humans do. I was like, what the fuck is everyone saying? I was like, I just wanted to get laid and like be a bit famous.
Yes,
like, I thought that's what and I couldn't believe that people were trying to find an excuse.
What are they getting out of that?
Yeah, good on you, Chloe, because lots of people don't say that a lot of the time.
Oh, they should, come on.
Yeah.
And also these days, like, well, I'm going on there to meet the love of your life. No one is doing that anymore. We weren't doing it. It is weird though, because you're in this environment and it's so intense and you do love that person. So I can vouch for it. But my intentions were just to go on and get famous.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously I had a different journey. But yeah.
Did you fall in love with Toby?
I was in love with him for sure. It's very, like, I think everyone in there was in love. Like, your emotions are just
heightened.
But it's like, you know, oh my God, I love this boy with every single ounce of my being. It's like, you don't have that in normal life. You don't feel that way when you meet someone for a couple dates. Like, it's very different.
You know, there's a big thing with reality TV as well, right? It's like, and I get this question a lot, but I have to throw it around to like both of us, like that aftercare, right? Because we like, what happens is on reality TV is you go and do the show and it's everything. You have your food done, you have this done, you have that done, you come out and you're famous and you this and that. And with all these things, like, there are only a certain few people who break through that surface and continue in this incredible world of entertainment. You, of course, have done that, and all the things you really have,
Thank you.
and you're killing it, right?
Thank
But
you.
there are some people who don't do that, and this life is tough and scary and unpredictable. And then people do get themselves in.
I understand, and I can't, like, I've been really, really fortunate, and it is kind of, it's more maybe the expectations that I set for myself. I was either going to go all in or I was going to fall on my ass, and I was determined to make it work. But you have no idea what the audience think of you. I had no idea if I was doing well or if I wasn't well. So when I came out, I was, overjoyed that I'd done better. But you don't understand the public's perception, and it's not a 24/7 live feed, unfortunately, and editing, etc. So some people do get dealt a bad hand, but you did sign up to do it in a way. I don't know.
No,
It's
I know.
tough.
But did you when you came out? Did you feel anxiety or worry or stress or anything like that?
I think the first 3 months were just an absolute blur. It was just an absolute whirlwind. I was all of a sudden going to Dubai and like LA and all these places I'd never been. I was working with like JD. It was like my life was a movie. You almost like, you get on this treadmill, I think, and you're just waking up and going through the motions. You don't actually sit back and take it all in. And then I think anxiety definitely crept, but maybe it was after my ADHD diagnosis I started to become more aware of like me and myself, and then anxiety just creeps in, and then you have more time. The first 6 months are just a big blur. Like if you kind of make it to the final, you don't take a minute, and then after that I kind of had more time, and then you start to look at the comments and you're just so self-conscious anyways because you think everyone's looking at you all of a sudden. So I'm just more aware of like me, myself, what I'm saying, what I'm doing. So then anxiety like crept in. But I think maybe in the past 2 years, because the more obviously you do, the more you get like attention and comments and stuff. The past 2 years, I've definitely had like awful anxiety.
Have you?
Yeah, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
But it's not debilitating. I just know. And, double black coffee in the morning doesn't help. And I'm very aware. But I don't know whether it's just me giving myself tough love. It's part and parcel. Like, I asked for this, and, okay, cool. If I feel anxious, then you just do.
For some reason, I don't know, and I don't want to generalize this, but only from my personal view,
Yeah.
like, I don't care about comments. Like I don't care. I actually lean into it. I find it funny. If someone makes fun of my appearance, whatever, it doesn't faze me. Maybe that's
so good.
Maybe because I've done it,
Yeah.
whatever it was. But Sophie, and it all makes me so upset. Even Sophie once, she was very upset, and I said, and Sophie's a tough cookie, right?
Yeah.
She's like tough, and she said, I'm starting to believe the comments. That made me so sad, and I went, "You kidding me? You're believing what these people are saying?" And she said that it was about a couple of years ago, and it made me realize that actually, especially maybe as a woman, people can be really hard.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And I actually was saying the other day, I wish I could just filter out people. The girls are welcome on my page unless you are over like 45 and you just hate me. But it's what I've noticed is it's men and boys, not every single one, but when you start seeing the comments, the way they objectify you and they think you're dumb and they call you a slag, like it's so disgusting and degrading and frustrating. I just want them off. Like, go away. I put up a TikTok the other day saying, oh, I've had a really good weekend because I managed to go to the F1 and I'd read 2 books, and the comments under it are disgusting and like dumb, slag, and but the abundance of it's got like 3.2 million views and all the comments are disgusting. I thought, what the fuck has my TikTok done to you for you to take time of your day? And then I was looking at them, they're all men or boys, and I think, get off, go away.
Fuck that.
I know, fuck them.
Fuck
I
them.
wish they need a filter to get rid of. I would just love the girls and the gays.
Yeah.
And I'd have a lovely time.
But you just, and for anyone who like any comments, like, and this like relates to like, it's really tough because you're in the public eye, so people feel they have like they can comment, right? Which is one thing, but then I think about like kids at school who are like getting online bullied just because, I don't know, whatever, they wore a pink jumper and someone wants to take the piss, and and as humans we have to realize that we now live in this space where people just love to comment about it, but those people are idiots. They're morons, and it doesn't mean that you're a brilliant, wonderful, beautiful person. Give a shit what anyone else thinks.
But it's like, it's scientific, isn't it? We look for negative bias.
100%.
So even if there's loads and loads in the comments, like I'll see one and that's it. And I've started commenting back. Well, if you're allowed to comment on me, I'm commenting on you too. My
You
management
bite
keep telling me to
back.
stop, and I'm thinking, no, meet me outside. I'm not saying that, but they'll say, oh, you're so ugly, and I say, oh, post a selfie, or yeah. If I haven't got time, I am replying now. It's time to take a stand.
You're in a new relationship.
I am, poor bloke.
No,
No,
I think
he's good. He's good.
you're in love.
I really, really am. He's just like the nicest, best person ever. Yeah, I know. Like
Let's
he's
go.
so different to anyone I've ever been with. So it's good at the moment.
And I know you don't like talking about it because you want to keep it kind of private, right?
I mean, every day I say this and I wake up and I just share more on the internet. So ask away, I'll answer questions.
What do you love about him?
He is so understanding and he's selfless and he really kind of gets me. I think I'm quite hard to deal with because my mood really, really, really fluctuates. And so I know I can be a bit of a handful, but he just completely gets it, knows exactly what I need in that moment. And he just, you know, does everything for me. Not that I don't do stuff for him, but even this morning getting up, he went downstairs and cleaned the kitchen. I thought, you don't even live here. That's amazing.
Wow.
Clean the kitchen. What a guy.
10 points,
Yes. Yes.
man. Wow.
Yeah. We do gold stars.
Fuck, I need to run home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do gold stars and devil stars. And
Do you?
Yeah.
Wait, come on, give me this. What do you mean?
Okay, so if he does something good, he gets a gold star. But if he does something annoying, devil star. You've got a devil star.
And where do the stars go? Is it metaphorical?
So, well, I might start doing it on post-its, but no, I'll just say it to him like, that's bad, devil star. But it's a good way, like, perhaps I'm really immature with relationship. It's a good way for me to communicate that you are actually doing my fucking head in. Because before I go 0 to 100 and I would just scream at him, but now it's like, oh, I had devil star.
That is a great way.
Yeah. So he knows.
This is interesting actually because Sophie went 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Sophie, and she would admit it. She goes 0 to 100.
Oh yeah.
And then what would happen is I would then react because as I didn't understand that there's been little things that I've irritated her
Yeah.
throughout this entire time. So my experience was like suddenly 0 to 100. And I was
Yes.
like, hang on a second, why has that happened?
Yeah.
Her experience is, no, you've done all of these little things and now I'm annoyed.
Yes.
And so the communication is so key. So now I've realized that I do a lot of devil stickers.
You
or
do
whatever.
devil stars.
Devil stars.
Yeah, and so does he. God, I do think though, when you kind of have your honeymoon period and then you get the, is this actually going to work period? And you just notice all the, it's not red flags, it's just little, you know, annoying things I don't like. But he obviously knows them about me. And I thought, no, he's a godsend, he's a godsend, he's a godsend. He just did one annoying thing. I think he asked me the same question twice. And I just let him have it. I was, oh my God, shut up. Stop asking me the same fucking question all fucking time. I hung up. I felt really bad. But now it's like, oh, okay. Why are you asking me the same? Devil star. You've done something
That's
annoying.
how you communicate. That's a great way of
Very
doing it.
immature, but it's working.
It
It's
works well.
working, yeah.
What? Cause you said your mood can sometimes your mood can go.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it changes by the hour. I get up, I'm tired, I'm kind of annoyed, but then he might say something nice. And then maybe it's very hot in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm in hell. I hate it. So I'm automatically in a bad mood. And then if he's calling me because he's on the way to work, I just think, what's the fucking point of you doing me right now? And he doesn't, you know, so then I'm annoyed. But then, you know, maybe an hour later, I'm actually ready for work. I'm on time. I'm fine. I'm calling, bye, babe, you okay? And he's like, what the fuck, man? Like, he actually thinks but he's so used to it now. We've been together a minute.
It's a roller coaster sometimes. Yeah.
But I think it's to do with like whether I'm overstimulated or not. It's not like I'm bored.
When there's lots of people in a room and all that, does that make you feel too overstimulated sometimes?
Yeah, I can't do it for like long periods of time. Like going to a festival is my idea of hell. So I don't, you know, if we're in a really busy, loud restaurant, I'll be all right for a bit, but then I think it'll just like start ticking over and I won't be having the best time.
So many things you're saying is what happens with my wife.
Really?
And I thought, yeah, 100%, which I've had to learn. Like, Sophie's like you. She's like extroverted, but also can be introverted. She likes her own time, and and what I didn't realize, she gets overstimulated by stuff. So if she's overstimulated, that's when she gets really frustrated.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that before. So then her frustration, she just very outward frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, so she would say things. And so now I've realized actually the frustration isn't at me.
No.
It's about the scenario, but I'm the outlet. I'm the one who's getting it. And so I had to learn all of those things.
Yeah, no, for sure. If I'm really, I just think your patience just disappears when you're overstimulated, and you can't, especially if you can't remove yourself from that situation. Even the other day, I was in the garden, I was trying to read my book. I love reading at the moment, and it was 1,000,000 degrees. And then my neighbours were just playing music so fucking loud. And then my dad called me, and I was like, "Oh, can you just call me back?" And you just snap. It's just too much on your plate at that time. But it's not necessarily loud cars and shouting. It's just, it can be random things.
But you have the self-awareness to know that you're doing it as well when you snap.
Yeah, well, I'll apologise an hour later. Like, I don't know, in that moment, I just see red, and then an hour later, I'm like, oh, fuck, sorry, like, whatever.
If someone's listening to this right now, right, who is a fan of yours, is in a relationship, if they're going through a tough relationship,
Yeah.
what would your advice be to them?
What do you mean by tough?
As in something that you went through where you feel like they know they're in a relationship that's probably not right for them.
Yeah.
That they are being walked all over. Maybe they've been cheated on. What would you say?
I just think, as I'm a lot older, done bad things, had bad things done to me, you just have to, it's almost like, what's worth your time? Would you rather spend longer being absolutely miserable, or would you rather change it and just make the best of what you've got? Like, if something happened I was so hesitant about getting into the relationship I'm in now, because I was so scared about everything that had happened. I was kind of on a bit of a whirlwind, whatever. But now I just think, fuck it. This is what makes me happy today and this week. So this is what I'm doing. And I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just going to be happy, and this is what I'm choosing. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Who knows? But just choose yourself. Always put yourself first. Which is maybe bad advice. I don't know.
No,
but
it's
it
not.
works for me.
You have your new show.
I do.
Love in the Wild.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about it.
Okay. So it's with Untold, working with the same production team who I did my first one with. So it's amazing, all women, part of the people. And we looked at, basically, there's a huge shift with Gen Z who are not as keen on using online dating, like dating apps anymore. So there's a big shift to doing it in real life. So like speed dating based on hobbies, ditching the dating apps. And I just thought it was amazing. I loved that people are doing that now. Like, dating apps are a lot. They're not going anywhere. They're, a staple in society. They're not going to be eradicated. But
they feel like a hookup mechanism rather than like an actual sort of long-term relationship thing. For me, I never used a dating app. I've never used one, ever.
Oh, ever?
Never.
Wow, well done.
I've never, ever used one. And I think, I mean, I probably would now. If I would use it, but I never used it because I used to go up to people in restaurants and ask for the number.
See, you're confident then.
Well, I just thought there's nothing to lose. When I was younger, I was sitting on this, I always had this mind, I sat on the rocks with this girl and I never kissed her. And then years later, when we were like 16, she said, "Why didn't you kiss me?" And I went, "What? What?" And she had a boyfriend. I was like, "What? I
can't now.
I can't now." Like, what? And so from that moment on, I thought, well, if I ever fancy someone or think someone's beautiful or whatever it is, I'd always ask them.
That's so good.
And also, it's always a compliment. When someone walks up to you and say, "You're a beautiful person," it's a compliment, right?
It depends who it is and in the circumstances. Let's not encourage everyone to just approach people,
Okay,
right.
Okay, right.
But I love the old-fashioned way. I mean, I went on like a couple dating apps. It didn't go anywhere. And when I was single after Love Island, I tried to get on Reddit. I had 37 referrals and they wouldn't let me on there.
Can't be true.
I don't have the app, obviously, but I had 37 referrals. Anyone I would meet, I'd be like, get me on there. And I got on. So didn't really do it. But I do prefer meeting someone, in person.
Yeah.
And that's how I met my boyfriend now. Like, we met in person. So
Where did you meet?
We actually met, he's actually Liam and Millie's. He's his, like, really, really good friend. So we met a few years ago. I've kind of always known him, but we were both in Australia at the same time at Christmas. We just fell in love there. No, we were the only single ones.
So there you go, yeah. So it's convenient.
Yeah, it worked out for me.
So the new show, so you basically go and experience what it's like to go on like dates and different scenarios. Like what kind, you do speed dating?
Yeah, I did speed dating.
I heard there's like a tantric dating.
Well, I did tantric dating.
What is tantric dating?
It was very intense. So I didn't really know too much about Tantra and whatever. I kind of just went in a bit blindfolded, didn't do a lot of Googling.
Yeah.
Perhaps I should have. Tantra is all about touch and like experiencing things together and almost like a meeting of the minds. So we did like one circle of boys, one circle of guys, and every like few minutes you do an activity with the person in the circle. So one was like just staring at each other for 2 minutes.
Get out of here.
And then one was, holding hands and hugging. And then one was, it was so embarrassing. It was like dancing to Kesha for 2 minutes. I was sober.
Oh my
I was
God.
sober, and it was like, you're yelling timber. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh my God.
It was just very out of my comfort zone.
That is
But
out
the
of
people
it.
in there were loving it. Like, they were all exchanging numbers at the end. Like, it obviously works for some people, which is great. More people should do it if you like touching.
I reckon you'd be quite good on a first date.
No.
Come on.
Bad.
Really?
I have no game.
Get out of here.
What do you mean?
I think you would have game.
No, it's more like an interrogation from me.
Okay, so role play. So we go on a date together.
Yeah.
Okay, so I come and sit down. Hey.
Do I know you?
Yeah, you know, we know each other. We know each other.
Yeah.
We've been set up.
Oh, great.
Okay, so I've arrived late.
Yeah.
Or only a little bit late.
No, I'm
Okay, but I've arrived in there, and so I'm going. Sorry, I'm late. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, really good. How are you?
Good. So would you
Why
like?
were you late?
I already feel hostility. I'm actually like I'm already on the back foot.
And I'm probably 4 drinks in at this point, anyways. So good luck. Do you know what I mean? I think
You don't have. You must have game. You must.
No, my boyfriend notoriously says to me, I'm incapable of flirting. I will say, like, you look nice. And I mean that, you look nice. You know, I'm not saying, oh, you look really sexy in them jeans. Like, I don't want to do that.
But it's amazing that these documentaries that you're making, this is amazing. Surely then this is where the place where you want to spread out and do more, right?
I would love to. I think with the 2 that I've done so far, it's been like quite immersive. So the first one I loved because we kind of pulled a little prank on the press and pretended I had a boyfriend, set up pics. That was so fun. And then this one, it was me actually like getting my teeth stuck into dating in real life. You know, I went rock climbing day and I was actually climbing rocks. I mean, who would have thought? I love the way you can get your teeth really, it was a good day. No one wanted to like be on camera for that one, which is fine. But I want to do more things. But I think I'd like to move away from like the dating, where like me dating. I mean, obviously I can't date now. I have a boyfriend, but I'd like to.
Do you feel like you've done that?
I
You've
do.
done that. You've done that area. You want to move into something else.
You know, Love Island, Celebs Go Dating. A lot of what I've done is dating and stuff. I'm getting a bit old for it.
Do you think because of Love Island and because of those things, you get sometimes put into a box?
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much stigma around it. I'm actually quite proud of it, but it's very hard to break away from Love Island. You know, there's only a few that have really done it. I'd say like Kem, Molly May, Liv Atwood, like they've really, you know them for everything else they've kind of done now. It's hard.
It is hard, but also that takes time to do that. But also, I'm so glad that you're proud of it as well. Like same with me. I'm so proud of the routes that I've done. And why like forget what we've done? Like Love Island is an amazing show. Yeah. And like people don't realize like you're there for 8 weeks being filmed every single day. You need the energy and the charisma and everything. That is a hard gig.
It's a hard
And people just
gig.
think because you're just acting yourself, it's kind of easy, but it's not.
No. It was like boot camp for TV. That, you know, any show after is probably a lot. Although Celebs Go Dating, did you do Celebs Go Dating?
No.
I never did. That is fucking graft.
Is it really?
That was a lot. I thought it was more intense than Love Island.
Are you serious?
I was up it's all in like West Kent and I lived in Essex and it was like in the morning we've got this, then you got the dating agency and then you got this and I was like, oh, I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
Anymore.
I don't want to date anyone.
Yeah, I'm so done. Yeah, no, that was graft.
Chloe, man, you're so great.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed like every moment of
Me
this.
too.
I love how open you are. Like, and I think especially people in this industry, that honesty and that openness and that authenticness is so key. And we live in this world of like filters all the time that we have to pretend what we are and that's just not. And being real and true is really important. So I really appreciate it.
Well, very easy to chat to.
No, you're the best.
You did my thing where it's like, I'll tell you if you tell me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we just did it together. We like to end the conversation with 8 questions. You ready for this?
Oh my God, okay, go.
What's a saying or phrase that makes you smile or cheers you up?
Ooh. What's a saying or phrase that like dinner time or something like that?
Yeah,
Food's
good.
ready.
Yeah, dinner's ready.
I'm not very one for like quotes or stuff like that.
Best compliment anyone's ever given you?
Or someone on Snapchat said to me that I'm like a rom-com in real life. And I thought that's really good.
That is
I feel
nice.
like I am.
That is nice. What scares you most about yourself?
Drunk Chloe. Don't know that woman. She should be locked up.
Do you have an alter ego name for it?
Claire. It's Claire. She loves arguing, fighting, sleeping and swearing. She's horrific.
What Has Claire ever done anything really bad?
What do you mean? She's not good. She's awful. I'm just, once I have one drink, I have 10. Like, I'm all or nothing, but there's always a drink around. So it's always Claire.
What's Claire's favourite drink?
Oh, a spicy margarita.
Let's go.
They're good.
Let's go. When was the last time you cried?
I cry all the time. I love crying. When's the last time I cried? Oh, last week, but it was at like TikToks, you know, when army soldiers come home. Oh,
That's mine.
Really?
I swear to God.
They just kill me.
It's unbelievable.
They're every time.
And they hide behind them. Like, that's the thing I watch all the time.
Or like the kids in school. And
Yes.
they're like, Dad. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know anyone who's been to war, but I relate to it. Like, wow, I would love that if that was me and someone came back from war.
I now onto the pets. Have you seen the pets when they come home and their dogs recognise
them? They've not seen them for ages. Or they walk past them.
And they walk past and they suddenly start to realise and they don't really know what's going on.
Some good stuff.
Man, that gets me. What's something you can't let go of?
I don't know. I think I kind of just let go of a lot of things.
Good.
Drunk Chloe.
There you
She
go.
won't go away.
She sticks with you. What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, I just love anything with Marmite. Like I'm a Marmite. I'll eat it with a spoon. I did it this morning. Because I like a bagel with Marmite, so I do that. But then what else is my
You eat it with a spoon?
Hell's yeah. It's delicious.
Butter underneath or just straight up on a...
Depends on the day.
No way.
Today I was making a bagel and then I just like spooned it in my mouth and then had it with a bagel.
It's quite like...
Yeah, it's intense.
The way I can describe it, it's like quite hearty or like, oh my God, that's in your teeth as well.
Wake up call.
Yeah.
Marmite.
Marmite, let's freaking go. Okay, what turns you off?
Bad manners, no sense of drive, turtlenecks, skinny jeans, black trainers with socks up, repulsive, dirty loads. Dirty trainers are repulsive.
Turtleneck.
Violently against them. And when they pair it with like, the check trousers. What the fuck? I hate that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God! I have a picture of me wearing check trousers and turtlenecks. I always want to get it up. I saw it the other day and I was like, what is that I'm wearing?
That's an intense outfit.
It was like an MIC scene, Jemima. Like tartan trousers, polo neck.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I could find a picture of it. That is so freaking funny. We'll find it somewhere. What turns you on?
I like it to start, don't just rub your boner on me. I love a good snog, like a good tongue snog. That's good for me.
A good tongue snog is so underrated.
The art of snogging is lost.
Thank you.
People have got hard tongues out here. Like, go away. Yeah.
What do you like most about yourself?
Oh, I think my sense of humour. It's quite good.
Come on. Chloe, you're the best. I can't wait to watch your documentary and just see you go from strength to strength. You've also got your podcast, which is so funny.
Yes.
The podcast is called
Chloe versus the World.
Everyone should go and check it out. And everything you're doing, you're amazing. Really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
You're
the best.
Thank you for having
You're the
me.
best.
That was so good.
You're so great.
You're